All right, you guys, welcome back to the Alpha Platform. Thank you guys for being patient with me. I've been gone for a minute, man, like 2 weeks. I've been gone for 2 weeks straight. For you guys who don't know, YouTube actually put a strike on my channel. So I was like, I couldn't post for like 2 weeks. I couldn't go live for 2 weeks. It was just a big fat mess. But in the meantime, I just been living my life. Been out in Chicago, went to the Usher concert. Unfortunately, I got COVID. So today I'm a little bit sick, but I'm happy to be here today. The main reason why I wanted to hop online was just talk about this election. Cause like, do y'all feel like how weird this is? Is it just me? Like, let me put these comments up. Uh-oh. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, thank you, Boom. Thank you, Boom. I appreciate the comment. My husband's home, so it's okay. It's just him. But do y'all feel how weird this is? Like, I really was not anticipating Donald Trump winning this election. And I thought, are you okay, Emma? Yeah. Okay. And I really thought that his rhetoric and the things that he was doing and saying was going to turn people off because we really didn't get any policies from him in terms of his campaign. We don't know what he's going to do with healthcare. We don't know what he's going to do about. Well, we know what he's going to do about immigration. We know that part. We don't know what he's going to do about the tax code and whatnot. There's just so much stuff up in the air, and he's talked about wanting to put RFK. Was it JFK? What's this guy's name? I know what the worms in his brain. Kennedy. That's his name. Kennedy. He wants to make the Kennedy dude like this minister of health or this administrator of health, and this Kennedy dude literally has worms in his brain. Like he has came out to say that I have worms in my brain because I don't believe in vaccines and all this other stuff. So you said you voted for Trump because he ate raw pig. Okay, my husband's talking to me, by the way. So okay, so boom. Why did you vote for Trump? Please tell me why. Like I want to know why. Like as gay people, as queer people, what is the appeal with Donald Trump? Because I just don't get it. I don't see it. I don't understand it. I don't get it. So yeah, I want to know, why did you vote? What was it? Were you a single issue voter? Did you only vote for the economy? What was the why? I just want to know why. In the meantime, let's play this clip by Roland Martin. I really like what he had to say. I think there's a lot to learn from him. So let's go ahead and get him on the stage. And of course, let me know if you cannot hear it. The clip tends to go in and out sometimes.
You do have to recognize that it is called America, and America history repeats itself. But also, America can congratulate itself. America has decided to align with.
Can you guys hear the clip, by the way? Let me know if you can hear it so I can try to reformat it. Before I play it again, let me know if you cannot hear the clip. All right, okay. You said our economy, illegal immigration. But as queer people, I'm assuming you're Black. What does illegal immigration have to do with you? Like, why are we as Black people concerned about illegal immigration? I didn't learn about immigration until I married a Mexican man. Like, there's a whole other world out here regarding immigration that does not concern foundational Black Americans. So why should we be concerned about that? Like, I don't get it. Like, to me, if you're against immigration, you are upholding white supremacy. That's what you're doing. You're assisting them in upholding their ideals of white supremacy, of keeping this country as white as possible. You can hear the clip. Let's resume. Thank you, Boom Boom. I appreciate the comment.
Other nations in electing far-right, crazed, deranged leaders. And what you have to understand is that, and I'm going to keep saying, is that this is white fear. This is absolute fear of the future changing of this country. The Constitution, Declaration of Independence, that wasn't democracy. Black men couldn't vote. Men of means couldn't vote. Women couldn't vote. Black folks couldn't vote. I mean, if you were not a white man who owned land, you couldn't vote. So there's been a constant effort to change this country, to change its values. So what you've seen tonight is this country has decided that, you know what? Trump, those are our values. In fact, he's actually poised to win the popular vote. Wow. Yep. When you look at states like New York, New Jersey, Harris barely wins those states. Lower margins than when Biden did. When you look at the numbers Look at what the country decided. Countries decided, we don't mind if you lead an insurrection. We're good. We don't mind if you steal classified documents and lie about it and don't return them. We're good. We don't mind if you cheat with your company. We're good because you're going to bring back the good old days. It's going to be fabulous. The fact of the matter is, Trump inherits an economy fixed by Democrats.
I just want to pause it right there. Why don't people understand that? Like they think the president controls the economy. The president does not control the economy. The reason why we have inflation is because we gave out so much free money during the pandemic. Of course, with all this money in the supply cycle, like of course prices are going to go up. Of course, companies are going to be charging more for their items and whatnot. People had so many. I was telling my husband the other day, in 2020, bro, there were so many new cars on the road. We had tenants not paying rent. Personally, in our business, we had multiple tenants not paying rent, right? We evicted the tenants. We found like literally 6 new TVs in one unit. So you can't pay rent, but you're getting all this free money from the government and you use it to buy TVs, clothes, cars, and not expect inflation to go up. The president does not control the economy. He doesn't. Let's let Roland Martin continue.
And he's going to immediately claim credit for all of it. He's going to say, oh, it came back all because I'm coming back. But do understand, you better pay attention when he lets Elon Musk run amok in the federal government. You better be scared to death when he literally lets Robert F. Kennedy be in control of science and health. Oh, you better bring back the mask and everything else, because it's about to be a lot more people who ain't vaccinated. And when polio comes back and some of these other diseases that we conquered a long time ago come back, because you've got a crazed, deranged, anti-vaccine person in charge, well, there you go. Oh, please say hello to white nationalist Stephen Miller. Oh, he's back. Steve Bannon, oh, he's back. And do understand, all of the sane people you had before who served as guardrails, they won't be there.
I wanted to highlight that point there because if we thought 2016 was bad, at least there were guardrails back then, excuse me. But now, what's stopping this dude? What's stopping this dude from coming into office and doing what he wants to do? The Supreme Court has already said we're going to allow him to do whatever he wants to do without prosecution. So as Black people, I just question the motive. So I'm going to read some of these comments here from you, Boom Boom. Let's see what you got to say. You said, I'm tired of having our nation's tax money go to anywhere but America. What do you mean by that? We're already getting a lot of tax money is going towards American citizens. What are you talking about? You don't understand the dynamics of power and how to influence people. When you give someone a gift, automatically they are beholden to you. That's why you give out gifts to people. It's not just, oh, I'm giving people stuff out the kindness of my heart. If America is helping another country, it's because we expect loyalty in return and other gifts from that country in return. It's not just a free handout to a country. Like that's not how influence and power works. That's human nature, by the way. That's not just science. It's human nature. When someone gives us something, we are automatically beholden to them. What else you guys say here, bro? Democrats promoting Planned Parenthood when they were designed to kill. That's not true. Like so many, including my own mother, work full time. So many women, so many people work full time and still can't afford health insurance. So my mom, she can't afford health insurance. So she goes to Planned Parenthood and she's not of childbearing age. She goes there to get her yearly exams, her checkups, her lab work, because she cannot afford, regular health care from a hospital or a doctor's visit. So it's not just about deleting Black babies. Like where are you guys getting this information from? Like I feel like we're watching or listening to separate realities, really separate realities. You said ERBY, welcome, bro. Thank you for joining. Ew, oh my God, that's scary on the vaccine piece. It is. Like people don't believe in vaccines. So we're gonna be dealing with polio, smallpox again. Like Think about it. People were so anti-mask during the pandemic. So what are we going to do when we put a dictator in place and he's going to be telling us what to do with our lives, how to live our lives? What are we as Americans going to do? We don't even want to wear masks. We don't want to be told what to do. But yet we keep voting for this stuff. Boom Boom says Kamala put black men in prison for weed and Trump gave. That's not true. That's not true. Like, black men have been going to prison. Kamala didn't put black men have been going to prison for decades. Like, we already know how the prison pipeline works. Like, ever since slavery was abolished, they needed something to do with black people. What do they want to do? Put us in jail, make us sharecroppers, anything but allow us to be free and prosper in this country. So I think that's cap, that's propaganda. America is racist. That's all. Let's just admit it. Let's just admit it. Thank you. The House of, what is it? The House of Pacific? Let me see your name. The House of Hajijo. Thank you. Yeah, let's just admit it. Let's just own it. We're racist. We're racist. We don't like women. We don't like gays. We don't like trans people. We don't like black people. We don't like immigrants. And what's so funny about this, I was talking to my husband about this. I cannot make this up. Is one of the reasons why Trump won this presidency is because Latino voters turned out in record numbers for him. And me, as a black man, queer black man, I'm confused. And my husband had to break it down for me and just let me know, essentially, when people come to this country or immigrate to this country, there's something in us where we don't want other people to come as well. We don't want to see other immigrants come to the country and, quote unquote, soak up the limited resources. What'd you say, man?
I learned it from school.
Yeah, like he's just telling me he learned this from school. And like being married to a Mexican man, you do learn a lot about the immigrant community. And a lot of immigrants don't want other immigrants coming to this country because they feel like it's more competition. Yeah, let's go on. Let's read some more comments. You should research Margaret Sanger. Okay, a little bit later I will. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Kevin Davis, let's see what you guys say. I'm never voting again. America wants to go backwards. It's never going to change. But why not vote again? I think we owe it to our ancestors, not just as black people, but as queer people, to keep fighting, because we would not be where we are today had we given up. Like, we as black people, we are not quitters. We don't have a history of fleeing our country and taking refuge in other people's country. Excuse me, guys. I'm sorry. I still have COVID. Excuse me. We as black people, we don't have a history of fleeing our nation and going to other people's countries for jobs, for Social Security, for whatever. We stay, we fight, we improve our country. That's what we do. And we owe it to our ancestors and ourselves to keep voting. So I don't agree with that. Keep voting. Keep fighting. ERBY, is gay marriage going to be in question? I sincerely feel like it will be in question. I feel like Trump will bring this up to the Supreme Court, and then we'll go back to the states, kind of like abortion. So it's going to be up to the states to decide if they're going to allow gay marriage or not. And currently, I reside in Texas with my husband, and we sincerely feel like this will be a state that will abolish gay marriage. We feel like our marriage will remain intact. We'll still be able to legally be married in Texas, but any new marriages will be out of the question. So I think it is in question, and it will definitely happen with it being repealed along with abortion. Okay. Boom, boom. Unvetted illegal immigrants are almost all men and many are criminals. But where's the proof? Show me that they're all criminals, because I've been seeing reports of, American citizens also deleting and harming immigrants. So it's not a one-way street. Like, I've lived in Mexico. I've been very vocal about living in Mexico. So I would have been classified as an immigrant, and I enjoyed my time there. The people there were nice. They were friendly. And actually, I just want to go back now. I'm not gonna lie. Like, after he won that election, I told my husband, man, we need to get this lawyer, pay him this $2,000, and let's get him out of here, because it's just gonna get crazy. Let's see what other people have to say, and we'll continue the video. Yogi, what's up, Yogi? Lesbian Hindi woman chained and enslaved black men by what? Okay, you guys be trolling. Let's finish this video. Man, you guys be up to, I don't know what y'all be talking about. We're gonna let Roland Martin finish. Give me just a second.
You truly are going to have a cabinet, an administration of zealots, of individuals who have no business holding on to power. And so America got what it wanted tonight, and America is going to get what it deserves. So let me say this right now to all of you white farmers in Michigan, in Wisconsin, in Indiana, in Iowa, when he drops his tariffs and all of y'all asses go broke, I don't want to hear shit. Because hashtag we tried to tell you. And to all y'all people who blame the Biden-Harris administration for an awful economy, even though inflation today is at where it was in December 2019.
Let me just pause right there because I do kind of agree with people who say inflation has not changed. It's gotten worse and, the economy is not in a good place. I do agree with that, even though I am a Democrat. I agree with that. But I also feel like it's due to corporate greed. Like, what is the incentive for corporations to lower prices? What is it? They have no incentive to lower their prices because we keep paying. So we can't. I really, truly feel like we need to start looking at these corporations a little bit more and start pointing the fingers at them because they are truly running the government. Let's let this dude continue.
Where we had the longest period of unemployment at that low of a rate in 50 years. Stock market, S&P, savings, all that stuff. Oh, by all means, when his tariffs plan shifts all of that debt to you, don't look at us who voted for Harris. Because hashtag we tried to tell you. We told you by voting for that fool what was going to happen. So your health is going to be compromised. Your pocketbook is going to be compromised. Oh, by the way, when your ass start choking and your water tastes like crap, don't come holler at us because he is going to decimate the EPA. Oh, by the way, when your raggedy ass state go ask a fool with the education, please don't come holler at us because of what he's about to do when it comes to the Department of Education.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about him wanting to abolish the Department of Education. Do y'all know how dangerous and reckless that is? So technically, schools can begin teaching whatever they want to teach. They can decide we don't want to teach about slavery. We don't want to teach about Black history. We want to pretend like that never happened. So as Black people, we're going to continue to only learn about what white people have contributed to this country and feel like we have done nothing to benefit this country when we have done a ton to get this country to where it is today. But if we abolish the Department of Education, how can we ensure that we are learning about our history? What's going to happen?
And again, all y'all white women who on birth control,
how about that?
Don't come holler at us when this Supreme Court targets that too. Clarence Thomas already told you they coming for that too. And so for all of y'all who said, oh my God, the nation is on the wrong track, by all means, enjoy his inauguration. Dance in the aisle. Go dancing in the streets. But I'm going to tell you right now, ain't no way in hell you think we're going to be silent. There's no way in hell you think we going anywhere. You know, I interviewed Harry Belafonte, brother right there. I asked him about why is he still in America? He said, you know what? For all my love of the French Riviera, he said, I stayed here to make it better. And see, I know y'all really think this is yours. I know y'all really, really think that we should go to where we came from. Well, I'm going to tell you where I came from. Riverside Hospital, Houston, Texas.
So let's get into it. Because I'm seeing these comments from Boom Boom. So Boom Boom, let's get into it. We can agree to disagree, but I think there's a fundamental element that we're missing in this conversation, and Roland just brought it up, is that a lot of people feel like we as Black people, Asians, Mexicans, whatever, we're not Americans. Like, we're not real Americans. A lot of people feel that way, even though some of our ancestors as Black people have been here longer than the country has been officially a country. They still feel like we're not Americans. If you guys have seen that movie Civil War, excuse me, it's on HBO Max right now, Civil War. It shows a president that decides to stay a third term. The country erupts into civil war. There's a point in the movie where a white dude approaches a group of, people, reporters that are just trying to get around to Washington, D.C., and he points them out and says, "Where are you from? Where are you from? Where are you from?" And there's an Asian dude there. Asian dude says, "I'm from China." Immediately deletes him. One of the girls says, "I'm from this state." "Oh, you're cool. You're from that state. You're cool. But you're from that state. Oh no, you're an enemy. Delete you." So it's like, boom, boom. I understand why you would want to vote for Trump, but why choose to vote up to uphold policies and people who feel like you are less than because you are Black? Why are we so willing to trade in our morals, our ethics, for what I feel like is just money? Money, the economy. Is it worth it?
250 Defender Street in Clinton Park. And then 222 Pennsylvania Street in Clinton Park. So we're here and we gonna swing. And I'm telling you right now, y'all act a fool. It's gonna be the Montgomery Brawl.
Yes, sir.
Cause see, we gonna throw the cap in the air. And when it's time to swing, it's time to swing.
Yes, sir.
And so y'all can play it cute.
Okay, that's Roland Martin, what he had to say. Basically, he's just telling white people that we're not gonna take any type of treatment from you guys. We're gonna stand up for ourselves. Let's read some comments. They're gutted by Trump's win. This is from Game of Stones. My parents, 78 and 68, rely on Social Security and Medicare. I'm genuinely scared for them. Yeah, we should be scared for the marginalized people, the older people. We don't know what's gonna happen to all these federal programs. As millennials, they're already telling us we're not going to get Social Security, so we don't know what's going to happen. Game of Stones, we just know it's going to be chaotic. The next 4 years, like, I'm tired of chaos. I'm tired of drama. I'm tired of fighting. I'm tired of hearing the name Trump. I'm telling my husband and my mom, I'm tired. Can I do another 4 years of constantly turning on the TV and seeing some chaos, some foolishness? I don't know. Thank you for the comment. You said Republicans want to gut, basically. They do. They would love to. It's all in Project 2021. Okay. Yogi says, if he deports Mr. What? And his tether. Okay. All right, bro. I don't know what you said. What's up, Darion? Thank you for joining today. I appreciate the love. So let's see. One of the things I want to kind of dive into is why Latino voters turned out in record numbers for a man that talks so badly about that community. And let's see if we can find a video about it and just really dive into it, because I just don't get it. I don't understand. If someone insults me, I'm not gonna vote for them. You could promise me all the money in the world, but if you call me, I come from a trash bin or whatever he was saying, good night. We're not friends. I'm not voting for you. Give me just a second, you guys. Just a moment. See if you can find something about Latino voters here. Here we go. I wish I could show you guys this video before the election where they were asking this Latino woman who was undecided, why are you voting for Trump, or who you're voting for, whatever. And this white man was asking the question to her, and he literally was like, okay, where are you from? And she was like, oh, well, my mom is from California and my grandparents are from California. And that white man was like, no. Where are you from? And she was like, oh, we're from Mexico. So again, we as people of color, we have this idea that we are American, right? But white people, they never see it that way. They never do. All right, let's see if we can find out about Latino voters here. Okay. Okay, I think I'm gonna play this video. Okay, give me just a second, you guys. I'm just formatting everything correctly. I'm gonna share my screen. Welcome, by the way. We got 23 people. Thank you guys for joining. I've been gone for a minute, but it is what it is. Here it is right here. Let's get into it. Don't be looking at my side, what do you call it? Side videos here. My recommendations are crazy. Let's get into it.
Let's get a 30,000-foot view now. And for that, we bring in NBC's senior Washington correspondent, Hallie Jackson, and Kristen Welker, moderator of Meet the Press. First of all, you look great considering you've only slept maybe 40 minutes between the two of you.
Generous friend.
Kristen, let me start with you because President-elect Trump, undeniably, perhaps the most transformational politician of our time, twice impeached. By the way, still faces a slew of criminal and civil charges, nearly assassinated twice, rises from the ashes, and doesn't just win. By the time all the votes are tallied, he may very well get close to 300 electoral votes. How much of what we saw last night was people flocking to the polls to vote for Donald Trump? How much of it was folks flocking to the polls to vote against Kamala Harris?
It's a great question, Craig. A little bit of both. First of all, think about President Biden's and the Biden administration's unpopularity. 70% of the country saying the country was headed in the wrong direction. And that really is at the crux of so much of this. People wanted change in this election, and they clearly viewed him as the candidate who would bring about that change. So they were voting against policies that they felt were keeping prices too high, not dealing with their pocketbook issues quickly enough. And also, yes, voting for Donald Trump as well. Some of them, again, we've been talking about this political realignment, the fact that he expanded his support among Latino voters. He expanded his support among non-white voters, something that we just didn't think we would see. And just a point about the legal issues. I mean, just how extraordinary is it when we started the primary process? That was the big X factor. How would his legal challenges impact them? Would they sink him? Not only did they not sink him, they emboldened him in the primary, and he survived 2 assassination attempts. This is truly, a lot of foreign leaders are writing him to say it's one of the greatest comebacks in political history, and in a lot of ways it is.
Hallie, let's talk about the gender gap. That's all we heard yesterday. It's all going to come down to the gender gap. So what happened here?
Okay, so let me take this in a couple of pieces. So gender gap, it existed, right? Women backed Vice President Harris, men backed President-elect now, former President Trump, now President-elect Trump, since we've called the race in the last 30 minutes. And let me start with, and I'm going to ask our control room to flip the order of the graphics, since we started with the gender gap, this idea of the so-called bro vote, right? And by that, I mean the young men who the Trump campaign for months had talked about targeting. Now, remember, young men, they don't vote a ton. They're not showing up every 4 years to get out there and cast their ballot. But the Trump campaign ID'd them as somebody who could, as this demographic group, who they could try to turn out. And if they could get those young men who are more predisposed to back Donald Trump to the polls, then maybe that would be the key. That's the bet that they made. And that bet has paid off because those young men showed up in a big way. Our exit polls showed that he outperformed where he was with young men from the past 2 cycles. He did better than 2016, better than 2020 with young men. And think about what he did in his campaign. He was on Joe Rogan. He had Elon Musk out for him. He was doing all these sort of young men podcasts. Yes, spurred on by his son, Barron Trump, to some degree. So that was one of the dynamics on the gender gap there. But there was something else that emerged. I was going to say last night, but let's say in the overnight hours into this morning, and that is the Latino vote. And here you saw a very dramatic shift, particularly among Latino men. You can see him here. Look at this. See where he is in 2020 at 36% with Latino men 4 years ago. That is nearly 20 points difference as to where he ended up based on our early exit polls here this cycle.
So why? that's my question. Why? Like, my only conclusion as to why so many Latino men turned out to vote for Donald Trump was because of the economy. And then I think, why is it always, and I hate to say this, but it feels like as Black people, it feels like we're the only minority group always pushing for civil rights, always pushing for something other than the economy and whatnot. But other Asians, whatever, other minority groups, they're not pushing for civil rights. They don't care about that. It's almost like leave it up to the Black people to fight for civil rights. The rest of us, we just here to make money. We don't care what these white people do or say to us. We don't care about none of that. As long as the money is green, that's all that matters. So let me read some comments real quick. Okay, I don't want to hatred, bigotry. I'm not entertaining that. Sorry, Yogi. That's just ridiculous to me. Okay, sorry you feel that way. Let's let them continue.
Latino men broke big for former President Trump. His campaign had also talked about, as Kristen alluded to, they thought he was going to have a historic or near historic performance with Latino voters, with Black voters as well. We really saw it in the Latina demographic. That was a big piece of it. And I would say the other thing, what drove him to this victory, people just don't feel good about where the country is, right? 73% say they're angry or dissatisfied here.
That's a lot of people.
And those were the headwinds facing Vice President Harris that she just was not able to overcome.
Moving forward here, Kristen Welker, we all remember what the first 4 years looked like under President Trump. We all remember that administration, the rhetoric, some of the policies as well. What, if anything, from that administration can we glean about what the next 4 years could look like? Do you think perhaps that we'll see a different President Trump, or do you think what we've seen is pretty much what we are going to see?
Well, I think one thing that we could see policies announced on his Truth Social account. Remember, a lot of times we'd wake up and there would be a post on Twitter and a new policy would be announced. But a couple of things that makes this different. In his first administration, he was surrounded by some people who wanted to be a guardrail for him. The thinking is now a lot of the people who are eyeing the possibility of joining his administration are people who agree with him, who would be largely yes people. And so would that dynamic be different? He's been very clear about what he wants to do. Just like he was focused in 2016 on dealing with the issue of illegal immigration, he's very focused on that right now. He says one of his first acts is going to be to start a mass deportation force. What does that look like? We have not seen what the policy proposals actually look like. And so I think that theme will remain the same. How will it look? The other piece of it is he wants to load his administration with more allies, more people who are going to be loyal to him.
To your question too, is this going to be a different Donald Trump? I don't have a crystal ball, but what I do have is a history covering Donald Trump, as does Kristen. And he has been consistent all along, right? Even after that first assassination attempt against him, he himself talked about pivoting right before the Republican National Convention. He said he was going to rip up his speech that he was going to give, which was going to be a barn burner against Joe Biden, and he was going to strike a unifying tone. That is just not what we.
Okay, you guys, I think that's enough of that. So yeah, Latino men, they came out in droves to support Donald Trump. I know Latino men that are here illegally. Maybe they're not concerned about being deported. Maybe they don't care about being rounded up and ushered out of the country. Let's read some comments here. Yogi, you're saying Obama made Latino men rich. I don't agree with that. I don't know where you got that from. It just seems like speculation to me. Darian says, I hope he doesn't stop gay marriage. Yeah, we just talked about that. We don't know, but I'm pretty sure it's going to go back to the states in terms of what's going to happen with gay marriage. I do want to play another clip for you guys. I do pay attention to Black male spaces, and it was so disheartening to see them celebrating Trump winning the election because they feel like it's going to be hurting Black women. And there are, I would say, a plethora of Black men that feel like Black women are doing too well or getting too far ahead in society. And I think that's because, when it comes to civil rights and, opportunities to and access to resources, it always starts with men, right? So you have white men first getting the right to vote, and you have Black men getting it. And then eventually it's all, it segues to women. So Black men we're seeing the rise of Black women recently, but we must understand it's only because we've just now made way for Black women to enter spaces like this, to have access to resources and opportunities. Like, we have to first get them in positions of power to make up for what we were lacking for decades. So it's the same thing with Black people, Black men, gay people. It's like, you're going to see more of them at the forefront as we try to become more of a democracy. Let me pull up this video for you guys. This is just to see this stuff, all this hatred and ignorance and bigotry. It really is astounding to me, because I don't live my life walking around hating people, or I would say I try my best to try to identify with people who are struggling, who are different from me. But a lot of people don't. I don't like you. You're different. I just don't like you. Let's get into it. This dude is a mess. I'm warning y'all from the top. This dude is a mess. I apologize for what he's saying. I don't agree with what this dude is saying, but I'm gonna play it anyway, and we gonna let it do what it do. Thank you, Darion. Let it do what it do.
From the mean streets of Big Backs comes a tale about Bum Keisha. Sore loser couldn't even address her supporters. And you have Bum Keisha just sitting around crying, knowing it's about to get dark for them. It's about to get dark for them. They're about to crawl right back into the hole where Ray Rizzle from the Blizzle and his partner in crime, Glocktavius.
This dude is so over dramatic. It's so crazy, the way he's talking and then the sound effects. But it's like, if Black women are doing bad, does that mean we as Black people in general are going to be doing bad? If you look at society as a whole, when women are elevated, the whole society is elevated. But if women are doing badly or poorly, the community is screwed. So it's like, why are we celebrating the potential demise of Black women, and expecting that to not affect us as Black men? It's crazy. Let's let him continue.
It's about to get dark, Keisha. It's a wrap for you. It's a Rizzy. You're finito in the sun. You're done out here. What a sore loser, right? you
I'm sorry, y'all. This comment was so funny. I gotta read this. This is so funny. Yogi, you be really hateful in my comments, but this one was funny. You said during the Bush presidency, trade was plentiful. You make it seem like it was like the golden era. Trade was plentiful. Some of us don't want trade, bro. Like me, I don't see the appeal in trade. I don't get it, but I know a lot of y'all like to, but I don't get it. Let's read this next comment. It says, so only Black women and LGBT plus, but apparently, all people did a lot of stunt in this election cycle. White men for Trump. What was it? Gays for Trump. White women for Trump. Childless cat ladies for Trump. All that stuff was gunplay. That stuff was fake. All that stuff was cap, because when the shit hit the fan, these people turned out and they voted for Trump. I just feel like a lot of people are just straight up fake. And it's scary that so many people, half of this country, agree with this man's hateful rhetoric and his ideas. It's very disturbing.
You have people, her supporters came out there. They out there buck dancing. They don't know what they're dancing for. They out there buck dancing, waiting for her to come out. You lost. You lost. And they're going to blame us, Black men. They're going to blame us. 71 million people voted for him. They're going to blame us. Right? It didn't help that you went out there and tried to shame us. there was a whole sector of black men who said they're going to stay out of it. A whole sector. They say, you know what? I don't care for either administration. I'm going to stay out of it. And then Obama came up with the bright idea to come out and put out shaming tactics on black men. And
did Obama shame y'all? Did Obama shame black men, or did he just call y'all's misogyny? Like, honestly, what did Obama do that was so disrespectful to black men outside of pointing out the fact that most of y'all don't like black women? Let's not get it twisted. Let's not be fake about this stuff. I like to have real conversations with people. A lot of us black men were raised by single black women, and we hated that shit. We hated how bossy they were. We hated how controlling they were. We hated how loud and argumentative they were. We hated how rebellious they were. We hated that stuff. So a lot of us grow up to be men, and we cannot stand bossy women. I even have my own problems with that. Like I told my mom the other day, one of my triggers is being bossed around by a woman. As a grown man, like I have a problem with that because it happened to me as a child. So it's like I can admit my faults and where I need to work on, but it's like a lot of black men won't be honest and won't say the truth about why they would not vote for Kamala Harris, and it's simply because they don't want to follow a woman. They don't believe a woman should be leading. Let's say Kevin Davis, voters didn't want another black person. They didn't. Apparently not this time. They didn't. And it's like black people constantly complain about what Obama did not do for the black community. But look at this. If the first black president got into office and did all this pro-black legislation and whatnot, we would never see another black president ever again. Them white folks would have never. So Obama could not have gone into office and did all this pro-black stuff. Like stuff has to unfold with time. Darion says, I agree with you, man. Why do people agree with him? I don't know. Yogi says, made black men drive Uber all day. I don't know what you're talking about, but okay, I'm not afraid. Blame me. Obama shamed us by refusing reparations. It has to go through Congress. Like you cannot. How can a president make reparations law? Like how? Like we have Congress, we have Senate, we have different legislative branches for a reason. It is not just Obama. It's like, do you honestly feel like Republicans are going to help us get reparations? Think about what y'all are doing.
Those black men said, okay, I got you. And came out and voted, just not for them. But it's about to get dark for you, Keisha. It really is. It's about to get dark. You see, the reason why, people voted.
I'm going to fast forward a little bit. He's going to talk about a list of things that he thinks are going to happen to black women as Trump comes to the office. Let's fast forward a little bit. Let's see his conspiracy theories.
That's the reason why. They look at her like, yeah, she's going to be tough on black men. She's going to put out laws. She's going to make it real hard for these guys. And she has a brat for a husband. Look at how much they went out of their way to vote for her with a Brad husband. I'm telling you. On your Section 8. How about I give you the promise that you can be on Section 8 until the sun burn out? How about that? And Keisha fell hook, line, and sinker for that. Now, here's some programs. I'm going to name these programs that are about to close. It's about to get nasty, Keisha. It's about to get nasty. These are federal programs that's about to close for you. We're not even talking about them, we're not even talking about Section 8, food stamps. We're not even talking about that. That's going. Yeah, get ready for that to get shut down. Get ready for that to get shut down. But it's not just that. It's not just that. You want to hear the programs? Black men, do you want to hear the programs that's about to get shut down? I'm about to tell you. It's a lot of them. Let me play the dark music.
It's crazy. Let's fast forward this bullshit.
Oh yeah, that's done, right? Open grants. Here's some more. Her Rise Micro Grant was created by the Jordan Foundation. It's a nonprofit that raises money through donors and sponsors. Small Business Growth Fund. It's a partnership with the Global Entrepreneurship funding with Etsy and Progressive small business funds that gives them grants anywhere from $5,000 to $25,000. Must I go on?
So essentially, he's saying that funds and grants that support Black-owned or Black women-owned businesses will dry up, and he's happy about that. I don't understand why you would applaud that, why you'd be happy about that, because if it's going to dry up for them, it's going to dry up for us too. Let's read some comments. Kevin Davis says, voters. Oh, we talked about that. There was another comment that you made, Kevin. I wanted to read really quick. Here it is. So you said once Obama made gay marriage legalized in America, in the USA, people turned their backs on him. I would say a lot of Black people did. He became very popular with white people, but I would say there are some Black people that felt like, why did you do that for the gays, but you couldn't do something specifically for Black people? Like, they felt that way, and they gave off that type of energy. So Yogi saying the president, Supreme Court, okay, our alliance, Gary Friday. To me, I have options. I don't know what you guys are wanting to happen, what you want to happen in this country. Regardless, like, I'm always gonna have options. My family's gonna be straight. We got ammo, we got whatever we need to protect ourselves. We know how to leave this country if we need to. We got a home in a different country. So it's like, I don't know what y'all are expecting to happen, but some of us are not afraid. We just feel like shocked and surprised that y'all voted and y'all supported this stuff. Okay, let's see this comment here. I was so happy when he passed. Of course, yeah. He said, okay, ERB, all right, wow, sad. Yep. You guys, because I have COVID, once again, I'm not feeling too well. I'm not going to stay on much longer. I just wanted to hop on and, show my face. It's been 2 weeks because I've been banned for a little bit. And to be honest, I'm actually thinking about taking the rest of the year off because just to recharge my battery. I have so much going on in my life and a lot of things I want to tell y'all, but I can't tell y'all yet because it's not the right time. And if I were to expose this stuff too soon, I could suffer some repercussions. So I'm thinking about taking the rest of the year off and coming to you guys again in January. My birthday is December 31st, New Year's Eve. So I'll be turning 35, celebrating with my husband and some friends, hopefully, on New Year's Eve. But coming back to you guys in January, I'm just not sure yet. To be honest, I also want to take the MCAT, and I'm preparing for that. My goal is not to become a YouTuber. I've never, wanted to become this famous content creator, this trailblazer on YouTube. I just like coming on here and talking to people, talking to y'all. My real dream is to be a physician, to do something important in the community with my husband. And I have to keep my eye on that prize and not on social media sometimes, so it's just life. Let's read some more comments. You said money comes first, Alfred, but it depends on who, for who, people who have money. I'm not rich. My husband and I, we're not rich by any means, but we're not controlled by money. We know how to make money. We made very good financial decisions. We're not influenced by that financial decisions of other people. We drive older vehicles, and subsequently we buy assets like homes. So it may come first for you, but I feel like it's going to come with a price tag. And I hope, Yogi, you're willing to pay that price tag, specifically meaning your freedom. So that's what I truly feel like. What? Bro, you're so crazy. Okay. You're so crazy. I gotta go. Yeah, you guys are just Yogi, just off the chain. Anyhow, I just want to thank you guys so much for tuning in today. For us queer people, just try to be positive. Keep fighting, keep voting. Do not give up, because our ancestors did not give up, and we owe it to them and the people that are coming ahead of us to keep fighting, and to resist this change that's coming to America, because I truly feel like the next 4 years they're going to be chaotic. The entitlement's going to come out. The white supremacy is going to come out. We're going to be seeing it. It's going to be a remake of 2016, 2018. And I know, Yogi, you said you're not scared, but maybe not right now. But if something happens to you, your loved ones, you will be scared, So anyhow, thank you guys so much for joining me for tonight. Just try to be positive, hang in there, and just keep fighting, you guys. Wolves back, Wolf Pack. Take care. Peace.